too. Okay, so now I have our resident business expert with us, Jonathan Pfahl, who'll be telling us how to set up a business from our kitchen table. Sounds fascinating, Jonathan.
Well, I'm sure it will be. Good to be back. How are
it's
you?
lovely to have you, really well.
Excellent.
So I know like there's a lot of people that have a dream of starting a business, but it seems quite scary because they think they need like premises and the costs are going to be huge, but not necessarily, right?
Absolutely right. I think that's a big mistake that a lot of startups make, is that the dream and the goal, of course, is to have the beautiful offices to begin with and all the staff to begin with, and that's what we need first to make an impression. But it's actually one of the biggest mistakes that people can make when they do start, because I'm always encouraging people to be lean and mean when they begin. You don't need the flash offices to begin with. What you need first, we're talking about the kitchen table. It can be the kitchen table if it's at home. One thing I also like to say to people is, if you can make the room for it, create a dedicated office workspace inside your house, inside your apartment. So that is, if you are sharing your business life with your home life, which means you are working from home, if you can create a separate area that's purely dedicated, I'm talking even a small desk in the corner to get things going.
You don't need a room, necessarily a dedicated room, just the
You don't. I mean,
space.
I've got 2 offices myself now, but I still have an office at home, you know. But that's how I started. I started on my kitchen table. Lean and mean, you know, make sure first you've got something that people want. And that's what I mean by proof of concept. Right. You know, there are so many different ways that you can now leverage off technology and other cost-effective ways to firstly, before spending lots of money in starting a company, to make sure that you've got proof of concept, to make sure that you've got something, a product or a service that people want to buy.
Right, okay. So what's the next step then? Okay, so you've got your office space and everything, or space at home, right? So what's the next stage after that?
Well, the next stage is to firstly confirm that you've got something that people want. You've got something that people want to buy. And what that is in another way to put it, it's called market research. But I'm not saying to people, you're going to be successful because you've gone onto Google and you found a survey that was once done 3 years ago from someone in your sector who said, oh, the market's this size, it's growing hugely. And a lot of startups, they look at those figures and they think, well, you know, if I can only get 1% of that market, I'm bound to be successful. Now, yes, that's an element of research, but it's not real. It's not real to that individual. It's not real to that business, that brand. So one thing I always say to people is, who is your perfect customer, number one? Who is going to be the individual or the company who is going to be most likely to buy that product or service off you? And really spend the time to think about, who is that person going to be? What do they look like? Where do they hang out? Are they male? Are they female? What age bracket are they in? What other groups would they be already associated with on social networking sites, on business network sites, on offline business networks? And firstly, go and interact with those people. And the best thing you can do as a startup is to firstly build a list of all of those ideal would-be customers and literally contact them coldly, politely, and say, I'm a young entrepreneur, or I'm an entrepreneur with a young business, and I'm looking to start an idea, I'm looking to start a new company, and I think it could be ideal for you, but I would love to take you for a cup of coffee just to get your thoughts and your views on whether you think this is a great business or something that you'd be interested in. And that's how I started my company originally, my first business 7 years ago. I built a list of 1,100 perfect customers, and I invited them all to a big event. And that's what I said. I'm a young entrepreneur. I've got an idea that I think could work for you, but I'm not here to sell to you to begin with. I'm looking to get you to an event, enjoy the networks and enjoy the drinks, enjoy the other people you're going to meet. But I want you guys to tell me if you think this is any good. And 120 of them showed up.
Oh, wow.
And at the end of that, I left with 67 paying customers within 6 months. So, but I had the proof, I had the evidence to me, and it cost me very little because I got the venue for free and the wine from Tesco.
But now, won't some people be worried about contacting all these people and then someone stealing their idea? What do they have to do before that?
Look, it comes up a lot, and when it comes to the protection of and stealing one's idea, if you are selling a product or service to a specific type of individual or another business, I mean, 80% of businesses in the UK sell a service. Only 20% of companies in the UK actually sell a tangible product. Myself, and 80% of the other businesses in the UK, we sell a service, an expertise, something that's intangible. So if you're selling such a service to specific individuals or businesses, there's every chance that they are there doing something else that they're focusing on, and you can't protect a service. You can't have that protection. It's very difficult to have a patent over a service. So my view is, unless you are developing the next unique invention or something that is an actual tangible product, trying to spend a lot of time and money up front to protect it,
it's not worth it.
It's not worth it, because you're either going to have someone copy you, which is a great thing because it means that
it's a great idea.
It's doing very well. But if it's a service, it's intangible anyway. So if you wanted to take these people to court and pursue it, the chances of being successful are very
Don't bother,
slim.
just excel basically at what you're best at then.
Absolutely. I mean, one of the things I said in my in one of the slides is focus on your passion. You know, that's the most important thing. If you're starting something from scratch, and you're in that lonely place by yourself doing this from a from your kitchen table or from a small desk in your office, it's got to be something that you're passionate about to begin with, because that's what's going to give you that time and dedication to make it happen.
All right, now we've got, I think, a couple of minutes left. Can we cover the rest of it in a couple of minutes, Jonathan?
Absolutely.
Go ahead then.
Well,
Let's try.
One of the other key questions that people ask is, it sounds great, I've got a passion, I'm working from home, but I still need some money to start my company. I need money, I need funding to build the website, to go out and do some marketing, to get things launched. Where do I get the startup funding from? Now, the traditional methods that we of course hear about is friends and family, right? So going around cap in hand and asking parents, cousins, uncles, friends to find that funding. It can work for some people, but often it can, the whole issue of, we've heard of mixing business with pleasure, and sometimes isn't it, and it does have its issues going forward. The second option you hear, of course, is the bank. Go to the bank and get a loan, but the reality is that unless you have security against it, it can be difficult to get.
You will be on again after your business trip, because you're jetting off somewhere very soon, aren't you? So
I am.
So
yes,
after that, we've got loads more to talk about, and I'm really excited to have you on the show because I know the viewers are definitely going to benefit from it.
I always enjoy it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Cheers.
Okay, so do stay tuned, because afterwards we have a special treat for you.